So today I'm going to talk about sublimation, and a lot of you are probably already full-time sublimators and you have your whole setup and all of that, but this is geared specifically to photographers. And I just wanted to show you what is possible with sublimation. So what you need to get is you need a sublimation printer, and I have the, this is my Epson F570, and it's only a sublimation printer, so you can't use it for general printing. It's strictly sublimation. I typically will sublimate on aluminum panels. So for instance, this is an aluminum panel, and once I take the blue off, I will sublimate on this, and I do that by using a heat press. And the heat press that I have is just, it cost me like 550 bucks. I ordered it from, I'll put the links below, but somewhere in Canada here. You can get them relatively cheap anywhere in the US or anywhere that you might live. And I get my Chromalux panels from a distributor in Alberta. You can as well look up any sublimation blanks is what you're going to search for in your area. In the US, there's a million sublimation blanks providers, and you're going to have the photo panels is what they're called. Now, I did do a big order from China last year, and I ordered a whole bunch of ovals, because you can't get ovals at any of the labs and you can't get them really anywhere else. So I wanted something that was a little bit unique, a little bit different, and it's definitely in the style of what I offer for prints, so it worked out really well. Now, it's super easy to do, it's not difficult, works really good for high contrast images. I use them predominantly for my fairy portrait work, and yeah, they're beautiful. They're absolutely stunning. So I'm going to print this picture of my granddaughter, because in the opening you saw a couple pictures of her already that I've already done. I did one on a 12 by 12 square, and that was for Halloween. She was a little kitty, and her newborn one, which was just a circle. And so this one I'm going to do on a 12 by 18 oval. And I'll show you exactly how to do it. Super easy. Here we go. So when you're printing on a sublimation printer, the prints that come out are not like a regular photographic printer, so the colors will be super desaturated and you'll think, boy, this is strange. But in all honesty, once you print it and press it onto your whatever it is that you're pressing on, whether it's clothing or, you know, textiles or a hard surface like this, the images and the colors will really pop. So I'm taking off the blue plastic wrap from this 12 by 18 Chromalux panel. I did decide to switch up to the Chromalux panel. This is a matte one as opposed to the glossy, and the reason why I chose to do this is because, first, I've never actually printed on the matte before, and the location that I'm putting it in my hallway will have a lot of reflections of the light coming from the windows, and I really didn't want that, so I preferred to go with the matte. And right now I'm just using rubbing alcohol to take off any remaining residue from the plastic wrap. My heat press itself is 400 degrees, and I'm going to press this for 100 seconds. With heat panels, or with photo panels, what you need to do is lay your print down face up, and my printer automatically will reverse the image, so I don't have to do it myself, which is really helpful if you're printing words or something and you don't want them to appear backwards. But for this one, it does print it reverse, which is good. So what I'm doing here is I'm placing the panel face down onto the image, and unlike other ways of sublimating where you actually have to have the print, the paper on top of your product or your device, whatever it is you're printing on, this one you actually have the Chromalux panel face down, and the reason is because it is metal, and so it will be super hot. And now I cover it with parchment paper, both sides, and I press down. It locks in place, and then automatically starts counting down from 100 seconds. So when it's finished, it has an alarm. I pull it up, and very carefully, so as not to burn myself, I place the top parchment paper away, grab my oven gloves, and I pull it off of the heat press. This is always the exciting part because it's just so fun to see what you get. And for me, it was fun because I hadn't done a matte one before, and I was pretty happy with how it turned out. So you take off, this is heat resistance tape, and it actually will hold your print in place so it doesn't move around. Otherwise, if it moves around, you'll get some ghosting, which is never good. Yeah, so we're just going to peel that off and reveal it to you. You have to be really careful because it is super hot. And there's the panel. I was really happy with how it turned out. It's nice and matte, so there's no real glossy glare with the windows and stuff. And yeah, just really, really happy with how it turned out. So I hope you guys enjoy this. And if you have any questions about it, just ask them below. But I did want to just show you up close how it's matte. It's not super high gloss. And then after this, I'm going to show you what it looks like on the wall in my hallway. And here it is. So you can see it looks really good with it being matte. There's not too much glare off of it. And yeah, I just love how it turned out. My little sweetie pie. Here's an example of a few more that I have had done. This is one from my Angel series. Sorry for the reflection in it. These are the glossy ones. And then here is another one, more fantasy style. This one is a 16 by 24, I believe. And for those wondering, my heat press can press up to a 16 by 20. So anything larger than that, I have to send out to the labs. And here's one of my ovals. And this one here is another 12 by 18 fairy portrait that I do all the time as well. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Have a great day. Later.